Chicago and the Philippines. A comprehensive review of the week's special community events, featuring many exciting personalities, handled by the most professional Chicago Philippine Reports TV staff.
This is the future. Forget what you know about currency, commerce, investment. The age of Bitcoin is upon us. And now anyone, anywhere can turn cash into crypto with a coin flip ATM. Booyah.
With low fees and 24/7 support, CoinFlip makes crypto so flippin' easy. Go to coinflip.tech to find an ATM near you.
ViaTimes, vital news, vibrant views for the Filipino Asian communities in Chicago. ViaTimes for your most interesting and exciting reading and your party coverages. ViaTime has very interesting columnists. You name it, ViaTimes has it. Law, Filipino news, dentistry, immigration, humor, serious opinions, health, beauty, mysticism, Bata Corner, showbiz, and intelligently written editorials. Call ViaTimes at 773-866-0811.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of this show. Today, I have two very interesting guests, actually. And the other one, you've known her already in our community. But the other one is fairly new, but you will be seeing more of him in our community, in many parties in our community. Of course, let me introduce first. All right, let me start with Alexander Boneo on the right side. Alexander, Alex, right? Alex is the founder, owner, dance instructor, choreographer with over 22 years of experience and teaching too, right? And he's actually a native of Bulgaria. A very handsome Bulgarian. And the other guest on the left is you've known her, Miss Rose Hipona. Rose is a very popular community member, and she is well known for her dance and choreographing expertise. She is so talented, and she has so many awards in our community. And she is also, well, believe it or not, reigning queen of a couple of titles out there, Miss something, and Miss Kalayaan, which is Independence. She was Miss or Mrs. Independence, right, Rose?
Yes.
And she is really overall a talent and beauty, overall personality. And okay, guys, are you ready? Are you all set? Okay. Alex, first. I noticed there's a title about empowering lives through dance. I like the title. Is that the name of your company?
The name of the company is North Shore Dance Society. We're located in Glencoe. I've been serving the North Shore, Chicagoland for essentially about 10 years. When I was starting my own company, I started it with the deep belief that every person who is excited to dance should be essentially welcome into our community. And the other thing that is extremely important besides that is every person who wants to dance, regardless of age, level, experience, and so forth, is and will always be welcomed by the dances itself. So ultimately, I truly believe that dancing can change and empower people's lives. And this is why the slogan behind is.
Okay, Alex. So maybe you can tell our viewing audience briefly about your background
Of
as
course.
a well-known dance instructor and choreographer in our community.
So I was born and raised in Bulgaria. I started dancing at the age of 6. I'm about to turn 33 in November. I've been competing internationally in about 10 major dance styles, international standard ballroom, as well as international Latin. Currently, I'm teaching approximately 27 different styles of dancing, which includes all the American styles, plus all the nightclub and Argentine tango and so forth. I came to the United States in November 2011, and ever since I've been essentially part of the dance culture and communities in Chicagoland. For the past 8 consecutive years, I've been chosen for one of the top teachers in our state. Thanks to, of course, all my students and everyone who trusted me and, was excited to be part of, our dance journey. That's kind of briefly that I can think of. I've been a choreographer as well as part of the Dancing with the Stars back in Europe. Yeah, this is kind of, sort of summarize some of the things that I have done.
In other words, your whole life, since childhood, has been around dancing. Your whole life has been to be entertaining many people out there, right? And
Well, what's
not
interesting
only
besides
sharing your talent.
true, besides dancing, I also have a master in business and management. So besides dancing, I've always been passionate about understanding other spheres of life.
That's beautiful. That makes you an overall beautiful person. How did the two of you meet?
So the story goes relatively easy. Rose and I, we were in Paris and we were nearby the Eiffel Tower. No, I'm just kidding. No, Veronica, this was a joke, of course. No, we wish. Actually, next year, Rose and I are planning a trip to United Kingdom because Rose is going to perform in the oldest dance competition, which is a Blackpool Dance Festival. But she and I, we met approximately 2 months ago. Rose was essentially seeking a change in her life. And, I suppose one of those beautiful things that happens sometimes, we meet people for a reason. And we met at our studio in Glencoe and we started practicing together.
Wow, wonderful. And really two great talents connected. And all right, well, how can you describe Rose as a student?
Rose is one of the most talented people that I have had the opportunity to work with. She's extremely passionate about dancing. She's very knowledgeable. So essentially, she's quite experienced. A lot of the people that she managed to work with in her past have done a wonderful job with her dancing. So she's knowledgeable, passionate, and excited to learn.
Thank you.
And you, Rose, how can you describe Alex as a teacher?
Very good. Oh my God, Tita. This guy, very young, but so much patience. You know me, Tita. If I do not know, I keep asking. I don't, if I do not like it, I tell him. And it's very nice to me.
You must know, before the interview, I asked her to say only nice things about me.
He is nice, Tita. He is nice. I'm keeping him, Tita.
Yeah, Rose would always say nice things, and she won't say anything unless it's really good, right? And Rose, even without you in front of her, I've heard her describe you, and telling me and the other people how good you are.
Not only good, Tita, good looking too.
Good looking.
Good looking.
I can say that. And he's good looking too. So it will be nice. It will be nice to see Alex in person dancing, and also
JDC. We will be at the JDC.
what?
JDC Rainbow Foundation. We will be performing November 6th.
Yeah, I think that is coinciding with one of my auditions, because somebody approached me already about that. And
It's okay,
but
Tita.
anyway, I'll see what's going to happen. Anyway, what are you guys going to be dancing there?
We are going to perform an international rumba show dance, and we may stick around and actually dance more on a particular night, but our show performance will be a rumba.
Alex, with all kinds of dance styles out there, which one is your favorite?
That's a wonderful question. And if I was making a single dollar every time I've been asked that question, I would have been a millionaire already. However, to be honest, I'm open to about all dances, and I kind of feel like I like them all. And it's every single dance represents such a different storyline. But I'm definitely very passionate about rumba, so I'm excited that Rose and I will be performing the rumba. So let's go with the rumba.
How about you, Rose?
Rumba. I love it.
That style.
Yeah, I love it. I just love the romance, and it's just so beautiful. It's just beautiful. For me, it is. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will be competing too this next month, right?
Yeah, and so next month, Rose and I are competing in the largest dance competition in the world, located in Ohio. It's called a Ohio Star Bowl. And yeah, we're competing in the middle of the month. And besides that, actually, next weekend, Rose and I are performing in Chicagoland in Oak Brook. There is a dance, and
are the two of you so far, since you've been together, have received any kind of awards?
Yes, actually, that's a wonderful question. So Rose and I, we perform at the biggest dance competition in the state of Illinois. The name of it is a Chicago Harvest Moonbow Championship. It's the oldest dance sport competition in the United States. And Rose and I competed, and
really, that's wonderful. That's
yeah.
lots of congratulations.
And music. We have managed to perform quite well, and as you can see, the gold medals are there.
Wow.
Are there. So we did great, and most importantly, we actually had a great time dancing, which is it's kind of what's, at least in my eyes, is probably the most important thing.
Okay. I want to hear some dance tips for our viewers out there who might be interested in enrolling in one of your classes and also in Rose's classes too in our community. Okay, you first, Alex.
What I would tell all the people, what I would suggest is make sure that you enjoy the journey, and enjoyment is very subjective and is different to everyone. But whatever you do, if it's dance related, make sure that you don't forget to smile and truly just enjoy the journey. It's a beautiful process of learning, and yeah, just enjoyment. Enjoyment is what will be my tip. So it's not necessarily technical, but it's just as important.
And how about you, Rose?
For me, it's my passion. It's never too late to learn, really, especially dancing. It's not only exercise, but it makes you feel good, brain-wise and physical-wise. I do love dancing. And there's no age limit in dancing.
Outside of dancing, how do you guys look at yourselves to be of service to other people out there who are non-dancers, or to the whole community, what you can do for the community?
Well, Veronica, first and most important, thank you for that question. So for the past 8 years, I've been working with a Down syndrome kids. So there's a place in Evanston that essentially it's a house for Down syndrome kids, Misericordia, which I'm assuming that you're familiar with. And I've been volunteering there my time. And besides that, I've been working with a couple of elderly facilities where, once again, we just don't have our time and, you know, just try to bring something different to the community. That's kind of my way personally to give back, because I've been lucky and happy enough to you know, be who I am, and this is my way.
Amazing, amazing. Alex, how about you, Rose?
For me, well, entertaining people, I really like that. When we do perform in the Filipino community, I encourage people to not only because you're old, you will just stay, go out there and dance. So for senior people, I'm not admitting that I am, Tita, not yet. I'm in denial as of this moment.
Terrific. Okay. You have a competition coming up soon, and how are you guys looking forward to that? Explain to us about this competition.
Well, if you ask me, Tita, I go. Whether I'm ready or not, I go. It's challenging. That for me is very challenging. And I love to dance. And also, Tita, it's the only time I can wear my skimpy outfit. Have you seen it?
All right, Alex.
Veronica, well, first and most important, during our practice times, you know, we try to work on a plenty of technical aspect of the dances. Rose and I are competing at the 4 different styles of dancing at this point, and we're trying to refine them to make them better, and, you know, obviously to improve our connection skills and so forth. In terms of energy, Rose is packed with energy, so I'm not concerned about energy alone. You know, just ready to perform, but we're definitely trying to take it to the next level and to do our very best at the upcoming events.
What do you think is the offing for your future, Alex, as far as the dance world is concerned?
Well, that's a really good question. So, as far as dancing alone, I'm currently owning three of the dance events in the Chicagoland, as well as the dance studio we're at. And at this point, I must say that I'm quite happy with. But in the future, we may try to expand in terms of maybe another studio. maybe another event and so forth. And to be honest, I'm extremely busy just teaching alone, which does not really give me much room for, doing anything else. I've been blessed with a good amount of students and, everyone quite dedicated and so forth. So as of now, dancing is the, looking bright.
All right. And what, in your mind, what do you think? I know you have not been into our community yet, but you would be because of Rose. Well, how do you look forward to meeting our community?
Veronica, I've been working with, I've had an opportunity to work with some Filipino students in the past before Rose and I met. And as a matter of fact, I have a good friend of mine that we've been together for quite a while. My impressions are absolutely beautiful from the Filipino people as itself. Very gracious, very open-minded people. I'm very excited to be to join the community, to be part of, and to to be able to perform with Rose, and just to see everyone. So looking forward to it.
Great, terrific. We look forward to meeting you and seeing you dance in person. And Rose, one last word.
Well, last word, dance.
Dance, dance, dance. Okay. It's just beautiful seeing Rose dance, and also with a dance partner like you, Alex. It always amazes me how people could dance, because I have two left feet. Cannot dance. I think. Okay. Well, guys, our time is up.
No, Tita, don't forget. You'll be reading this. ViaTimes.
ViaTimes. That's our publication, and it's really old. As old as I am. It's almost
23.
23, Tita.
I started it when I was a crawling baby. No, I started it in 1982 when I was a young mother, and is still going strong. Thank God. And Rose and Alex, I thank you so much for gracing our show today. And I'm going to tell our viewing audience right now, you should not miss this wonderful interview on our Cprtv. Cprtv gets aired on cables, Comcast, RCN, and WOW cable platforms. And our editor uploads this on YouTube after airing on Chicago Cable 25. And so, guys, you will be seen on the Philippines and in Bulgaria.
Thank you.
All right. Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat is thank you very much in our language, Alex. How do you say it in Bulgaria?
It's благодаря.
I thought you almost forgot. Okay. Salamat. And enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Get ready for the ultimate in fresh produce, barbecue, seafood, sushi, and more. Meals made easy. Kimchi with wow. Our dishes make you a star. H-Mart.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, we have a very interesting, very popular guest. He's a Filipino American and a very guapo and very talented. Help me welcome Mr. JR. He's
Hello,
only known
hello.
as JR, but I don't know his last name. JR, come to Chicago. What is your
Thank
last
you.
name?
My last name po, it's Siliona.
Oh, si Leona, but he's only known
Siliona.
as JR. Two syllables and very short, but he's really very popular. And JR is known as the Philippines King of R&B. He's here in Chicago today to for a concert tonight, and believe it or not, I think this is his first time here in Chicago, and this is also my first time to meet him. Is this your first time here in Chicago, JR?
Nice to meet you, Tita Veronica, but no, it's not my first time po. I think, if I can remember correctly, it's my fourth time na po. Fourth time, yes po. But it's my first time to do a show na parang I'm the headliner po, na ako pa talaga the artist for the show here in Chicago. So I'm excited for tonight. We're gonna be at the Mansion nightclub in Stone Park, Illinois. Kaya yeah, I'm just excited po. And after this interview, I'll just be preparing and finishing up my music and everything po.
It really sounds exciting. You know what? I'm not really exposed. I'm old-fashioned. I'm not really exposed to R&B, but I think it will be very interesting to hear you tonight. Okay, please. I know you are multi-talented. I was reading about you. He is a writer, a performer, a singer, and what else?
What else po? Entrepreneur. Ayun po.
And
Music producer,
of
and
course.
I have my own label, and ayun po. I manage artists as well, so maraming hats, maraming sombrero po.
Yes, I can see that. Multi-talented young Filipino American, and you have moved to the Philippines since when you were 18 years old. You were telling me. Why did you do that? From LA, you were born in LA?
I was born and raised in LA po, and then I moved to the Philippines when I was 22 years old. Still young, but it's been 18 years na po that I've been living there. So now I've done this whole 180 where 360 where I've come back from. I went from United States to the Philippines, and then went back to the United States now doing shows. But yeah, I've been enjoying my ride with my career, and it's been amazing connecting with the Filipinos around the world. You know, it's been nice seeing how much growth Filipinos are doing around the world with their businesses and with their lives, and it's nice connecting with them because it's inspiring just hearing their stories, and it's inspiring seeing their faces when they're excited to see me and sing along with me and dance with me. So, you know, I'm excited for tonight. Tonight's gonna be fun.
And he has been going around for a lot of performances lately. How do you do that, JR?
Well, right now we're doing a tour called Homecoming Tour. This is actually part of it, the Chicago leg, but we've done Las Vegas, San Francisco, we've done LA 3 times already, we've done Texas and Louisville. Where else have we gone? Did I mention Las Vegas? Yes, I did mention Las Vegas. But after tonight, I'm going to Phoenix, and then after Phoenix, we're going to Modesto, and we just have so many other cities that we're hitting up because ngayon in the Philippines it's locked down, and that's the reason why it's really hard to work in the Philippines, and it's better to be here now. You know, in the Philippines, we're locked down for what, almost 2 years, nothing, just at home,
Yes.
just cooking, planting, just recording music in my studio at home, but no live performances at all, nothing. So when I get here, naman, it's totally different. I'm bombarded with live performances every weekend. I have a show, and I'm loving it. I've missed this lifestyle of mine, just traveling and performing.
You are very lucky to be a film, comparing to the real Filipino natives who are in the Philippines and don't have any performing jobs right now. Well, you are very lucky. So it's two beautiful worlds that you live in, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
And
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I had a TV show that I was working on before I left that I had to leave on TV5. It's this show called Pop Pinoy with Maha Salvador and DJ Lunyo. And sino pa ba kasama namin doon? Si Paolo and sino yun? Anyway, I had a TV show. Even though it's lockdown, I was still lucky enough to have a TV show and I'd be working. But unfortunately, I had to come home. My father is sick, so I had to come home and visit the family. So I had to leave that. But luckily for me, even though I left work in the Philippines, pagdating ko dito, you know, these live shows popped up and I still had work. So, you know, God works in mysterious ways sometimes.
so, having been living as a Filipino and also an American, which one you can you don't have to answer it. Which one do you prefer? What kind of ethnic nationality do you prefer to be known as?
Filipino, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I just look it, you know. I mean, I may sound different, I may sound American, but in my blood, I'm Filipino, and that's where we're from, you know, our roots.
Do you speak the language fluently?
Yes, nakakatagalog naman po ako, okay naman.
Okay lang.
Opo.
So it's still easy for you to convey in Tagalog.
100%. We were always speaking Tagalog at home, and my parents made sure that we spoke Tagalog.
Oh, really? That's good. I like it that way, because many Filipino families that I know of here in Chicago, the kids are not speaking Tagalog. Anyway, going back to your performances. So you have been going around performing here in the US these days because we're open now, right? We're not on lockdown. And so once the lockdown is over in the Philippines, you plan to go back there right away to live?
Well, my plan is to go back and forth. I have, you know, I also have my properties there and my businesses in the Philippines. So we also have to go back and forth to make sure everything is running smoothly, although it's automated already. You know, of course, it's good to be in sight, in mind from time to time. So, but for now, we're prioritizing muna to be here in the States, just because it's totally locked down. But yes, definitely have plans to go back.
Oh, you are an entrepreneur. What kind of business do you have?
Well, I have real estate, and I have some tenants that rent my properties, and I also have a water station where we provide drinking water to the neighborhood, and I also have a record label. And you know, we have artists. So basically the record label, it's Homeworks Records, and the water station is called Too Big, as in it's like masyadong malaki. It's spelled masyadong malaki in English, but it means too big in Tagalog. Yeah.
Okay.
And then homeworks, it's because I've always had my studio at home. And I've always just, ever since I lived in my mom's house, my studio has been in my room until I kept growing it and elevating it until I have this whole third floor in my home of a studio. And that's why it's called Homeworks, because I'm always working at home. So kaya ganun nangyayari.
That's cute. You're you're really a smart kid and very smart.
Thank you.
And okay, what's going on tonight? I mean, what are your repertoire in your concert tonight?
Well, tonight, most definitely, we're going to be doing my original music. These are the songs that yung mga fans ko, they like to request it every time I have a show. You know, songs like Bakit Pa Ba and Ngayon Naririto, stuff like that. But it's not only me singing. I have a couple opening acts, which I'm excited about because they're also talented. We have Russell Reyes coming on later. We have Chels Fuego. We have Day and T-Shy coming up. And DJ Rob Mondo will also be there. So everyone, please make sure to come over to the Mansion Nightclub in Stone Park, Illinois. It's going to be so fun. It's going to be really fun.
Sounds very exciting. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah.
At you and those other talents that you mentioned. And
Thank you.
all right. Manood po kayo mamaya. At,
Yes.
At magkita natin this multi-talented Filipino American. But I'm sure we will be so proud of. And I didn't even know he's even an entrepreneur. I thought he was just an entertainer. And imagine at such a young age. Well, JR, I salute you for what you're doing in your life.
Thank you.
And also, congratulations for all those things that you've tried on at such a young age.
Thank you, po.
And welcome to Chicago. And we'll see you tonight.
Yes.
JR, and say hi to ViaTimes on Cprtv. This is Cprtv. It stands for Chicago Philippine Reports TV.
Oh, wow. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
And we are already more than 30 years old doing this.
Wow.
And I started it.
That's so great. Congratulations. That's great. Wow, ViaTimes. Great job, ViaTimes. More power to you. Shout out to you.
I would like to take your picture reading ViaTimes. Okay, mamaya.
Okay. Sige po.
Okay, we'll see you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Salamat. Bye.
Bye.
We would like to welcome all of you to Baladna Jewelry. We have a very big selection of 21 karat gold jewelry imported from the Middle East, from Dubai, Saudi, and Bahrain. And we have a very big selection of diamond. We offer free financing for 6 months, and we have a layaway system which you can leave your stuff for 3 months. We repair gold and we buy old gold. Welcome to Baladna Jewelry.
Salamat po.
Good afternoon. This is Brigitte, Carino, Cueter, bringing you this week's local news from our community. With Halloween shaping up to be extra enchanting this year, Lawn Love did a little data magic to conjure up 2021's best cities for witches. Here are the rankings. In first place is New York, New York. Second, Los Angeles, California. Third, Pasadena, California. Fourth, Jersey City, New Jersey. Fifth, San Francisco, California. Sixth, Orange, California. Seventh, Hollywood, Florida. 8th, Seattle, Washington. 9th, Torrance, California. And 10th, Fullerton, California. The city that never sleeps is also the city of spells and sorcery. New York City bubbled up to the top spot in our ranking as #1 overall, as well as #1 in both covens and supplies. It's not hard to see why the witches of New York flew ahead of other magical cities. Los Angeles has more than movie magic. With more than 3,800 members in its Pagans and Witches network and growing, the City of Angels takes silver in this ranking, while its suburb, Pasadena, claims bronze. Operators of licensed daycares in Illinois say the governor's COVID-19 vaccine mandate on the industry will make a staffing crisis even more acute. Governor J.B. Pritzker issued an executive order for daycare workers to be vaccinated. The order applies to the state's 2,872 licensed daycare facilities with an estimated 55,000 people workers. Vaccinations offer life-saving protection for the people who can't receive them and make the community safer for the people who can't, including the babies, toddlers, and young children not yet eligible for the vaccine, the governor said in a statement. By extending vaccine or test requirements to those who work at licensed daycare centers, we are adding another level of protection for our youngest residents and preventing outbreaks in daycare centers as more and more parents return to work. Women of the Illinois Republican Senate caucus said the mandate is short-sighted and will exacerbate the staffing issues at daycares. The National Shrine of Our Lady of Good Help invites pilgrims to the shrine for 3 days of prayer and worship around the feasts of All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day. Starting with Halloween or All Hallows' Eve, the eve of All Saints' Day, the shrine will offer 3 hours of Eucharistic adoration from 9 p.m. until midnight on October 31st in the Apparition Chapel. November 1st, All Saints' Day, is a solemn holy day dedicated to the saints of the Church, those who have already attained heaven. In addition to the regularly scheduled events, which include Mass at 11 a.m., all of the saints' relics housed at the shrine will be brought up to the Apparition Chapel for veneration by the faithful. Veneration will be from 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. and resume after Mass from noon to 3 p.m. On November 2nd, All Souls' Day, which is dedicated to those who have died and not yet reached heaven, the shrine will offer 2 Masses, 8:30 a.m. and 11 a.m., in addition to the regular schedule of activities. Chicago's Illumination tree lights at the Morton Arboretum, returning for its 9th year. This would be a great fit for any features on unique and safe travel destinations around the holidays. Illumination is the perfect melding of nature, technology, and art, not your usual holiday lights display. After converting this wildly popular event to a drive-thru experience due to COVID safety precautions, Illumination is going back to its roots as a 1-mile walking path, allowing visitors to enjoy illumination at their own pace. Visitors will be immersed in color amid interactive lighting effects that highlight the beauty of trees in winter. This one-of-a-kind spectacle of color, light, and sound has welcomed more than 1.3 million guests since 2013, making this a top holiday travel destination across the region. Illumination will also help to kick off the Morton Arboretum's year-long centennial celebration in December. Celebratory experiences will include planting 1,000 trees in Chicagoland, unveiling a new 2-acre grand garden, extending and adding to the wildly popular Human and Nature exhibit through 2023, and more. Fittingly, the centennial also coincides with the 150th anniversary of Arbor Day. Illinois schools will likely play a role in delivering COVID-19 vaccines to kids aged 5 through 11, as Pfizer vaccine will likely be approved for that age group in the coming weeks. Federal regulators will meet over the next 2 weeks to weigh the benefits of giving shots to young kids. The White House reportedly told Governor J.B. Pritzker to start preparing the state to vaccinate children 5 and older by early November. The Biden administration has purchased 65 million pediatric doses of the Pfizer vaccine, enough to vaccinate 28 million children. Pfizer's vaccine is currently the only vaccine authorized for emergency use in children as young as 12. Many school districts held vaccination clinics for children 12 and up, so they had a chance to work out the kinks. NBC and E! Network announced the commencement of voting for the 2021 People's Choice Awards, celebrating all forms of entertainment chosen entirely by the people. In each of the 40 categories, fans worldwide can choose from 8 nominees representing movies, television, music, and pop culture. As previously announced, the 2021 People's Choice Awards will air simultaneously on both NBC and E! Network. For the first time on Tuesday, December 7th at 9 p.m. ET/PT from the Barker Hangar in Santa Monica, California. Live from E! Network, the 2021 People's Choice Awards will kick off for the night with a red carpet special at 7 p.m. ET/PT on E! Network. Voting for the 40 categories across movies, televisions, music, and pop culture runs today through November 17th at 11:59 p.m. ET. This year's new category is the Pop Special of 2021. Fans can either vote online or at www.votepca.com or on Twitter. Additionally, votes cast on Turbo Tuesday, November 9th, will count twice, equaling up to a maximum of 50 votes per day, per category, per voting method. Thank you for watching our news this week. This is Brigitte, and a very happy Halloween to all Cprtv viewers.
It's more fun in the Philippines.
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. This is Melody Dizon, your Health Matters host. How are you guys? I've missed you. I haven't had a recording in a while just because life got crazy. But here I am back again, so I hope you guys are all in the pink of health. So today we will be talking about booster shots for COVID. So if you know, people nowadays are talking about, are they going to have the third booster shot or are they going to not have it? So, but before I go any further, I wanted to explore about antibody testing or antibody result before getting the third one. Because I was really thinking about this, you know, if you don't really need it, why get one if you have the immunity to it? So, but this is what the doctors are advising to vaccinated people and wondering whether their shot was held up, it's still there, you know, the immunity, or was it just curiosity from maybe last month's cold? Was that a cold or was it a virus or whatnot? Then who should get the antibody testing then for COVID-19? Well, more than, where are we now? A year and a half, I guess, into the COVID-19 pandemic with 3 vaccines available in the US. Seems like everyone knows or has heard at least someone who has been vaccinated and diagnosed with the virus thereafter. So it should come as no surprise that many people are wondering whether their shot is still doing its job. So enter the SARS-2 antibody blood test that can detect the infection-fighting proteins that linger after your immune system beats COVID-19 or revs up in the what they call a response to the vaccination. But can these tests actually gauge whether you have COVID-19 immunity? That's the question. Well, it turns out that antibody tests are definitely not recommended to determine whether you're protected from COVID-19, according to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. And experts agree and don't see the great value in these commercial tests prescribed for other reasons as well. Also known as serology tests, you know, antibody tests which requires a doctor's prescription are blood tests that detects the presence of SARS-CoV-2 antibodies in the bloodstream. As we all know, antibodies are protein molecules produced by the immune system when your body fights off a pathogen or undergoes vaccination to help defend your body from the said pathogen the next time you're exposed to it, and can also help reduce the severity of symptoms in the case of reinfection. Antibody tests are typically used to screen for evidence of past infection or preparedness to fight off a specific virus. That would then tell us the varying degrees of accuracy. So yeah, that was lingering in my mind. So if people had the antibody test, do they really still need it if they came up positive? The third vaccination, I mean. So question is, who then should get the antibody test to see if you've had COVID-19? Well, in theory, testing positive or for spike protein antibodies should mean that your vaccine is working, and a positive antibody test should confirm that you've had the COVID-19. But there's a big but. The jury is out on how many antibodies you need for immunity and how long that immunity might last, according to the FDA. So what's more is that we don't know whether antibodies protect against the various COVID-19 strains in circulation. So they're saying there's not really much value in testing for antibodies. The majority of infectious disease providers agree that one should never do a test unless one knows what they're going to do with it if you have a positive or a negative result. In the case of antibody testing, the results cannot be interpreted, which is why they do not recommend it at all. So if there's one thing literally every expert and governing body agrees on, it's that antibody presence should not take the place of vaccination or boosters among those who are eligible. Not only that it takes 2 to 3 weeks after infection to detect the virus antibodies, these tests then are not your best bet for diagnosing COVID-19 on the spot, according to CDC. And that's not the only reason why you shouldn't rely on an antibody test to tell whether you have had COVID-19, that the blood tests are prone to false negatives among those who have not had any antibodies yet false positives among those who've been exposed to the coronavirus besides COVID-19. Yeah, because there's a lot of coronaviruses out there. So antibody testing is not currently recommended to assess for immunity for COVID-19 following vaccination, which notes that these diagnostic tools have variable sensitivity, specificity, positivity, and negativity predictive values. So in other words, they just don't tell you much what you have. It's not especially accurate in assessing protection from COVID-19. So it should go without saying that you shouldn't get an antibody test to assess your need to get the second shot or third shot for your vaccine series. Just get them, because these tests don't definitely tell you if you've had, you could have, you could get, or you could spread COVID-19. And because a positive test could give you a false sense of security. So experts generally recommend against COVID-19 tests in all circumstances outside of research laboratories. However, if your healthcare provider wants to know whether you've been infected with COVID-19, it may be helpful, but take the results with a grain of salt and without plans on acting on them, because antibody positive is not a substitute for vaccination. That's right. So now you know, guys, as well, that there is now talks about the mixing and matching the COVID boosters. You can jump from one booster to the other booster. So question is, which one should you get? Well, if you've been fully vaccinated against COVID-19, is it okay to switch to different manufacturer's product? FDA says it's yes, you can certainly do that. Under a newly announced mix and match strategy, people who got Pfizer, Moderna, and J&J vaccine may switch to another brand's booster. So after reviewing available data, FDA said that knowing the potential benefits of using a single mix and match or heterologous booster dose outweigh the known and potential risks in people eligible for boosters. So mixing vaccines has a couple of advantages. From a practical standpoint, it says the ability to switch from one manufacturer's vaccine to another gives Americans more flexibility when they go to the doctor's office or pharmacy for a booster shot. A recent study examined real-world data from mid-March through mid-August on COVID vaccine effectiveness. The two-dose Moderna and Pfizer remains saying they're getting up to 93% and 80% effective against COVID hospitalization, and with the J&J, a level of protection at 71%. And again, these are preliminary findings indicating that mixing and matching, regardless of the combination of vaccines and boosters, increase antibody levels. So of particular note, though, were the results of J&J vaccine recipients switching to a Pfizer booster resulted in a 35-fold increase in antibodies. But, or as well as the Moderna, when they've had that switching booster shots, people got a 76-fold rise in their antibodies. But the study has limitations, including small size, short follow-up period, and which may really not capture the rare side effects. So, which booster should you use? Well, you should get whatever booster you can get, basically, because rest assured that any vaccination that's out there is highly protective against severe disease and hospitalization. So anyway, folks, I hope I've given you an insight to what's on the news, to what's been spread around, what they're talking about, and could help you decide and what you're gonna do with your situation. I do respect people for maybe not wanting to have the shot for whatever personal, religious, or just any cultural reasoning that they may have, because we're all different. But for those people who are still skeptic, there's really nothing I could do about that, basically. So it is your own choice, but let's just make our choices what's best for everybody. So, and that means for you. So I give you with that decision. So again, folks, this is Melody Dizon, your Health Matters host. I will see you again next week. Thank you so much.